Hey guys, Kyle Morris coming to you from the Golf Room in Dublin, Ohio. And today what I want to do is talk to you guys about the shot from about 30, 40, 50 yards that's going to come in nice and low and have a ton of spin and kind of nip right on the green and just stop right on a dime. You see the pros do a lot of this shot right off of tight lies. Probably Jason Day has some of the best form and would be a good image to kind of picture someone doing this. So what we're doing with TrackMan, if we were going to measure this with TrackMan, there's a few numbers that we can really pay attention to. And the first number that we could pay attention to would be spin loft. Now spin loft is essentially the difference between the attack angle and the dynamic loft. So if this spin loft, which would be like this triangle, was about 45, 42, 43, 44, 45, that would give us a really high rate of spin for the club to come in. So what would those numbers look like? Well, with this shot, we want to have our attack angle be very shallow. We do not want to be taking big divots, hitting down on it, taking a lot of turf. That's not going to impart a lot of spin on the golf ball. And the second thing is so if we said we want our attack angle to be probably like this shot, about -3, -4, we would want our dynamic loft, which is what the loft is delivered at impact, to probably be right around 40 or so, 40, 41, 39, 38. So those numbers, and based upon the TrackMan simulator, are going to impart the most spin on the golf ball. The other thing that we'd like to have is we'd like to have a launch angle that's kind of low. So that launch angle would be between 24 to 28, 29 degrees. So it's going to come in low with a lot of spin. There's not going to be a lot of turf interaction, so there's going to be a lot of contact between the face and the ball. And if you can do this and kind of hit it a little bit thin, a little bit on towards the bottom of the grooves, you're really going to spin it a lot. So what would be a great way to practice that? Well, you could take an alignment stick. You guys can get these at Home Depot or any, you can get it at a golf store too. But what you're going to do is you're just going to stick this alignment stick right underneath your left armpit. Take your grip, and then I want you to put your left hand on if you're a right-handed golfer, and then put the alignment stick right there between your index finger and your thumb. And what you're going to do is have your weight a little bit forward and just try to match the club's pivot with your body, right? So you're going to match the club speed with the rotation of your body, because we want the speed to be very consistent. And you could use your wrists in this thing, but the one idea that I would say for that short shot is the wrist can create a lot of speed, and we really want this speed to be consistent. So you'd have the ball a little bit more back in your stance, so we could kind of feel like we were de-lofting it a little bit more, and that you're going to try to probably feel this thing come in very shallow, maybe kind of feel a little bit of a draw swing when you're doing this. So you're going to set up, and you can see the numbers that I did on a rehearsal before we got on the camera. So I had an attack angle of -4, a dynamic loft there of 40 degrees, the spin loft of 40. It was a 47-yard shot, and it spun 5,300 RPM. So let's see if I can replicate another one for you. So I'm just going to have the ball a little bit back in my stance and just try to match the pivot with the club. So caught that one a little higher on the face, which made it launch up at 33 degrees. So I'd want to drop that launch a little bit down. Maybe the next one I'd feel maybe it was a little bit more back in my stance, and maybe try to thin it a little bit more to try to knock that launch down. But it's a great drill to try. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to email me at kmorris@thegolfroom.com, and thanks so much for tuning in.